So unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of months, you would know that TikTok got banned from the US on January 19th. But by the end of the day on January 19th, it got unbanned. So now it's back. But this created a lot of confusion and a lot of grievance with a lot of people, especially people who support themselves on TikTok content. But there are a couple of things that I learned from this banning that applies to just regular life. One of them is to always be prepared for change. Change is inevitable, and it's the people who adapt to the change who thrive. For instance, do you remember when Instagram had a chronological feed? That means if you were the last one to post, everyone would see your post. But then they changed it to like a likes-based feed. So it doesn't matter how many times you post. It only matters if the person who's following you wants to see your content. Someone like Gary Vee, his strategy was to post 20 times a day and everyone would always see his stuff. Now you have to create likable content, shareable content, and a lot of people couldn't adapt. I remember all these people complaining about the new feed instead of just adapting and posting different content. So change can come at you really, really fast, and you always have to be on top of it and adapt. So when it comes to the TikTok ban, when it got announced, a lot of people started scrambling. They didn't know what to do. And there was even a joke going around that, I guess I need to find a real job now that TikTok is gone. They should have been preparing for this all along. They should have been creating email lists. They should have been creating websites. They should have been communicating with their followers outside of TikTok. And same thing goes for your personal finances. There's a lot of change happening in people's lives every day. It can be job loss, it can be recessions, it can be personal emergencies. You need to be prepared for these as well. That's why it's important to have an emergency fund of at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses. You need to pay off all your credit card debt and become debt-free while you still have an income. And most importantly, you should learn how to live within your means. The whole lifestyle creep is basically when your salary goes up and your expenses go up with your salary, so you're wiping out any of the increases in your pay. Don't do that. You need to keep your expenses flat. The TikTok ban also highlighted one crucial mistake that a lot of people do. They put all their eggs into TikTok. All their content, all their followers, everything was on TikTok. So because a lot of these creators only had TikTok, when TikTok got banned, they started scrambling. Follow me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, but it was too late. People are not just gonna follow you in 2 days notice to a new platform. The smart move would have been to diversify early, at least a year ago. So you can warm your audience up, you can mention it a couple of times. I think in marketing, they say that a person has to be exposed to a product 7 times before they actually make a purchase. You should have been talking about this for months, or the content creators on TikTok should have been talking about the new platform for months. And each platform has their own weaknesses and strengths. So you need to be deliberate in which one you're using, because the strategy of TikTok doesn't work as well on Instagram. It doesn't work as well on other platforms. So that takes time as well to get used to. In finance, diversification is essential. You can't just buy one stock and put your life savings on there. I saw a thing about a guy who took his life savings, like 130K, went to Vegas and put it all on red, and he won. But that's just luck. You should not put all your savings in one basket or one product and then just leave it there. Diversification is essential. Stocks, bonds, real estate, whatever it is, even a side hustle, a business, you need to be spreading out your risk a little bit. Now, diversification is important, but so is creating multiple income streams. Content creators who just make money from ad revenue, that's great if you can do it, but you're leaving a lot of money on the table. I look at Mr. Beast, who has Beast burgers and snacks and all these things, but he started as a YouTuber. Look at Logan Paul, started as a YouTuber, now he's a boxer. Look at his brother, who has a beverage company, a merchandise company, but he started as a YouTuber. He also has a podcast. So you should be taking what you have and diversify it into other income streams. Warren Buffett once said that the average millionaire has 7 sources of income on average. A lot of people think that you have one job or you have one business. That's not how it works. They typically have one job, one side hustle, one piece of investment real estate, dividend paying stocks, and so on and so forth. I have a friend who does content creation and makes a lot of money on content creation, but also still has his job. And then he has a business on the side. So that's 3 right there that I'm aware of. So you should be using your spare time to try to create a side hustle or a new business or anything. Don't just rely on one source of income. This will give you financial stability and options. If one fails, you still have a couple of others to fall back on. I remember having this discussion with my friend a while back, and I said, why don't you start some kind of side hustle? Because he was working from home at the time. And he said, I don't need to, I have a great salary. And I go, okay, well, what happens if they fire you? And he goes, they would never fire me, they love me. So He's not fired yet. I'm not saying he will. Hopefully he doesn't. But I'm just saying that this mindset is what's really holding people back, thinking that I'm good, I don't need anything else. If you want to thrive in any field, you need to be learning new skills related to what you're doing. So for a TikTok content creator, instead of just making videos, they should be learning how to do SEO for other creators and maybe start a business on that. Editing videos and starting a business doing that. Teaching people how to grow on TikTok and creating a business out of that. So if you teach yourself how to do SEO, it will help your videos. You can also turn that into a business to help others. So you benefit both ways. Same thing if you learn how to edit videos. You can edit your own videos and save money, but you can also make money from editing other people's videos. So in personal finance is equally important. You need to learn how taxes work. You need to learn how investing works. You need to learn how 401k works, Roth IRA, all these things. You need to learn them so that you know what to do with your money. Also, you need to be taking risks all the time, and it's scary. For TikTok content creators, that could mean experimenting with new formats, maybe even go to another platform, posting content in a different style, talking about a different topic. For instance, I remember when Bitcoin was at $1 back in 2010. And I thought to myself, why would I buy a Bitcoin for $1 when I have $1? Like, what's the purpose? Because they were pitching Bitcoin as a currency. I said, I already have currency. It's a US dollar. Why would I buy $1 of Bitcoin? It's stupid. Thinking back now, you laugh at it, but you can't look into the future. You got to take risks in life. You know, the smart thing would have been for me to say, all right, let me just put $50 in there and see what happens. But you can't look into the future. I mean, it is what it is. So you should be taking risks that are manageable. Don't be betting your life savings on roulette like that guy did, but you should be taking manageable risk. Maybe spend $2,000 starting a business. If you lose, okay, you learned something new, but $2,000 is not going to bankrupt you. So manageable risks are the key here. Lastly, and most importantly, you need to learn how to seize the opportunities. There are opportunities everywhere, and you need to seize them. I saw this video from a YouTuber who said, I escaped the matrix. He's from Sweden, but he also acknowledged that he was born and raised in Sweden in an upper middle class family. So they were comfortable financially. So he had the opportunity to do what he needed to do to escape the matrix. And he bought a house somewhere and now he's like living off the grid. Good for him. But that was his opportunity and he seized it. Everybody's not going to be brought up in Sweden to a middle class household, but you need to find the opportunity that you have, that you can leverage. Bill Gates, the owner of Microsoft, not many people know how his story started. He went to a private school in Seattle. They bought a computer because they had money. Schools in the 60s did not have computers, but his school did. So he said, okay, computers are kind of cool. Let me learn how they work. And he spent all his free time in the computer classroom and learned how computers work. And that's how he started Microsoft, and the rest is history, as they say. But he saw the opportunity and he took it. Gary Vee used to say to everyone in 2020, hop on TikTok, hop on TikTok. I never did. So now in November 2024, I decided to do TikTok content and then it got banned 2 months later. Okay, it's unbanned now, but it's not gonna be the same. I should have done this years ago, back when Gary Vee was telling people to do it. So that was my opportunity that I missed, that I'm trying to make up for now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. If you see an opportunity, jump on it. You have an idea, go execute it. Don't ask people for advice. Don't ask people what they think. Just do it. If you lose 3 months of your life and $1,000 invested, then so be it. But you only need to be right once to succeed. Go out there and start a business or do something, content creation. Opportunities are fleeting and hesitation is what's going to cost you and you will regret it. Anyways, this is all I had to say on this topic. And I hope you guys take this opportunity to go on TikTok and create some content, because we don't know how long this TikTok is going to be around this time. So